Come on now, stick the dismount. Sweet. I gotta play Bone Storm 2. Give me one!
No can do, my pointy-headed friend. I need the power of video game violence to run my latest invention / monster. If you find me a World War II communication radio and a satellite, then my creation will live, and we can play with it and enjoy the frolicking.
Oh, cool. Real violence is way better than TV violence. It's like a level boss come to life. Now, who would have a World War II radio? That guy that sells all those grenades to Nelson might. I better check. Fine by me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Simpsons Hit and Run, and we're finishing up the Bart level in this one with Bart and Frink is the name of this mission. Another Bart and Fink reference. I was talking about that joke in the show in the last one. And we're chasing this van. We're gonna find some... I already forget. I didn't watch the opening of this before I started recording. I edited this not very long ago, like earlier today. But yeah, I got a little bit ahead of this guy, so I kind of just futzed around. But you don't gotta beat him there, you just have to not lose him, so it's not very hard. But yeah, we are doing things with the professor to make a machine. Apologize if I'm sleepy. I am a little bit, but I mostly just am relaxed. I've had a pretty nice day today. It was a very easy day at work. It's a nice day out. I'm gonna go for a little walk after this. And I've, I had a nice big lunch. I just got run over by a fucking car. I had a nice lunch, and I watched a silly movie, and I've been chilling out, and now I'm doing this. And later, I'm talking over funny dialogue here of, Chief Wiggum being stupid, which is one of the best, running jokes in the show. One of the reasons that Chief Wiggum is one of my favorite side characters is just because of the thing he's satirizing. This is me pointlessly driving around to see if there's any collectible business that I missed. I actually managed to do a lot of the stuff in this level. I think I got all of the cards, and this is me backing up, thinking I'm gonna take the detour, and then just deciding not to, which was a good idea because Snake is right here. And that's what I was like, wait, can I take a shortcut? And I was like, wait a minute, I think that's not where I need to go.
Do I know you, dude?
I need that radio you borrowed.
Anyway, what was I just saying? I already forget. This is what happens when I get distracted by things that are happening in the video instead of talking about the dumb bullshit that I talk about instead.
Like fast cars, not vintage electronics. Why don't we race for the radio?
Oh, I totally agree to your proposal.
Well, I was gonna say, the movie I was going to see tonight, which is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which has been out for a little while, but I've had like a bunch of busy weeks lately, and also longer days at work the last few weeks, except for this week, and that has been precluding me from going to the movies, either like logistically or just being in the mood to do it. So I need to catch up, so I'm hoping to do that over the next week or so. Been watching some stuff from the past year at home, as well as tonight I'm going to the theater. I did see Ambulance, and then I hope to see The Northman sometime next week, and Doctor Strange over the weekend. That one's going to be the hardest one. I gotta get tickets to that like today if I'm going to go this weekend, because that's, we're in the new time where pretty much exclusively Marvel and Marvel adjacent movies, by which I mean just like, big established IP movies, of a certain variety at least, are basically the only thing that makes money in theaters anymore. So it's going to be crowded because there's, people see 3 movies a year now, and this is one of those 3 movies. So I'm hoping that I can get decent seats. And by which I mean, my favorite place in the movie theater is the very back row in the middle, right under the projector, pretty much. And I also like there, again, trying to take a shortcut and then realizing, oh wait, no, I don't have to go that way, and then I whack into the wall. Wall whacking.
Hey there, Mr. Slack-jawed Yokel.
That be I.
Can I borrow your satellite dish?
Sure, if you help me scoop up my flat meat, sophisticated city youngster. Those darn revenuers don't like me selling roadkill.
So yeah, this is a tried and true kind of mission in this game, which is collect the stuff in time. Isn't that fun? But yeah, I'm seeing Doctor Strange, even though I am not much of a Marvel head. But I don't mind Doctor Strange. I remember liking the first movie okay. I have not seen it since it came out. And I mostly am interested in it because of Sam Raimi's involvement in it, being that Sam Raimi made Spider-Man 2, which is probably my personal favorite superhero movie. I think it's just about as good as you can ask for like a mainstream, big-budget Hollywood superhero movie, in my opinion. And also, I just enjoy him as a director. So, I'm excited for that. Some early reactions from people to the movie have suggested that, like, Marvel fans may be disappointed because of its lack of cameos of other characters, and because it is too, stylized. It's like Sam Raimi's style comes through. And obviously, like, a lot of people that I follow and whatever were like, oh, well, that means it's going to be good, because I want a movie that feels more like it's made by a person and not just, a way that that Marvel movies are. But I'm a little skeptical of it. I really don't think... I'm not expecting much, because honestly, I mean, including from footage that I have seen, from, like, clips and trailers that they've released, I don't really... I feel like, given other movies that, like Marvel diehards have had that complaint with, it really doesn't have to be very much, recognizable authorship to these movies for them to, have that complaint that it's not fan servicey enough. I mean, I'm thinking of, like, Rian Johnson in The Last Jedi. Like, whether or not you think it's good, it is... I feel like... And I would not call Rian Johnson an auteur, but, it is... I don't know. It has more of, like, a singular idea, and I don't know. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. Rian Johnson was not a good fucking example. Whatever. Also, I talked over, but I like when he says "twernt nothing." I like saying "twernt" or "twir." Would that it were so simple. I'm sipping a delicious ginger ale. In the comments, sound off in the comments. Tell me, what's your favorite place in the movie theater to sit? And if you're a ginger ale drinker, if you're an ale head, what's your favorite brand of ginger ale? Do you get Canada Dry, or Schweppes, or Schweppies, as I like to call it, since they've got that, like, old English, ye olde Englishy spelling, like the vitamin Shoppy, or one of the other ones. Seagram's, that's one. There's probably a bunch. Or maybe you get, like, a generic, store brand shit. or something, which is not, I'm not talking down, I'm saying I want to know your favorite. Or maybe your seltzer head, which is really what I gotta do, because, you know, like, several years ago I stopped drinking soda, which is a very good decision, because I used to drink soda all the fucking time. But now the only soda-y thing that I really drink is ginger ale, which still has a little bit of, like, the corn syrup and shit that makes soda bad for you, but not quite as much of the sugar. And also, it is, you know, it's nice for when your tummy hurts.
Bring it.
I like how he calls him, Mrs. Lisa. I'm a fan of, Ralph. I think I've already said that. I also like how all of the characters who do the races have their own special countdown things that are funny. So, yeah, I'm doing races. This one took more tries than I am happy to admit. But I probably should have chosen not this car, because I like the rocket. I forget what it's called, I'm sorry. But it's not particularly fast. And in all of these races, I would always I would come close, but I would always be trailing Lisa, because she is driving the Malibu Stacy car, which is quite fast. Or at least faster than my car and the fucking lemons that I'm competing with. But after several attempts, I was able to do this one correctly. But I wanted to try the races, I wanted to show off a couple of them, because I mean, I want to show off some stuff outside of just the normal missions. And like I said, I got all the cards in this one. I got most of the Wasp cameras and the Buzz Cola things and the what are they called? What am I thinking of? The other fucking collectible thing that's in this game. Not the gags. I didn't get many of those. I like never see those. I should look at a guide for this game. Anyway, this is a lap race, and this one did not. I managed to do this on, I think this was my first try. Yeah, I don't think I did this more than once. It's very close. I very almost didn't make it. And I am, you know, as you'll see, I am not leading this race by any means. I was probably in the middle of saying like 3 different things and then interrupted myself, so I apologize if I'm leaving a bunch of unfinished thoughts on the floor here.
That was totally awesome.
Anyway, another reason that I'm interested in seeing Doctor Strange in theaters is because I would like to see the trailer for Avatar 2 in theaters, because I'm pretty excited about that movie, and I say that as someone who isn't even a particularly big fan of Avatar. I did not see it when it came out. I was 12 when it came out, and it did not interest me. Yeah, it's incredibly close, by a hair. But I didn't. I didn't do the other race because I didn't remember where it was, and I didn't feel like looking for it, and I kind of wanted to just get a move on, because I wanted to finish the level in this video, and I, you know, didn't want the video to be 45 minutes long. So, you know, again, maybe I'll go back sometime and do the other races. Just fucking murdered that kid, just massacred that boy.
Oh, that was the coolest.
You expect me to complete a Mark X Truckosaurus without a blender? Why don't I just make a plasmoclave without a tennis racket, for crying out loud? Now fetch me a blender with the puree and the frappe and the liquefy.
Now where am I gonna get a blender? Dr. Nick! He loves blended girl drinks during surgery.
Professor Frank has a great voice. I don't really usually find him to be a super funny character, and I don't love episodes that feature him heavily, typically. But, I mean, he's not that heavily featured in most episodes. He's kind of a bit part for the most part. But anyway, but I do like the voice. And it's a classic voice that has been much imitated. I don't want to talk over this part either. Okay, I'll let Dr. Nick talk, and then I'll go back to talking about Avatar 2.
Dr. Nick,
Hi, everybody.
you seem like a heavy drinker. Do you have a blender?
Not now, okay? My monkeys have escaped. Can you catch them for me? I'll be so grateful.
Why won't they come back to you?
Because I have tortured them horribly, silly.
There's no way I'll be able to fit all those monkeys in my car. I better get a big truck or something.
Oh yeah, we gotta get the big, the Mr. Plow truck. And we're gonna talk to Homer briefly here, and that's also a funny conversation.
Let's roll!
But yeah, sight unseen, I'm very excited for Avatar 2, just because James Cameron is movie god. You know, he's made many very good movies. I think, for my money, he's like one of the best, if not the best, like blockbuster filmmaker in America of the modern time. It's just that he's been really deep into this franchise for the last like 20 years. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this.
Your truck, Homer.
Why should I give you that?
Because I love you.
Pay up, sucker.
You're charging your own son?
Yeah, I guess I am.
I love that conversation. Pay up, sucker. That's a great Homer line. Homer is very, very funny in this game. Anyway, this is a very long and open-ended collecting things mission, so now I will talk. Anyway, yeah, I just think an extremely good and consistent genre director. He also seems to be obsessed with water. Almost all of his movies have water as a big part of it. And I mean, this Avatar is called The Way of Water. And one of the reasons it took so long to get into production, the technological limit was... as far as I understand it, filming motion capture footage underwater. Which, you know, sounds ridiculous, but I don't know, with Cameron, I don't really think it's, like, empty spectacle. I think he actually is interested in, like, film technology and well, like, wants to, and uses it in interesting ways. Also, you know, I think people have to remember that the last 2 times that he has put out a film, Avatar and Titanic. I think maybe there was something in between Titanic and Avatar that he directed, right? Or maybe not, I don't remember. But anyway, those are his 2 last, you know, the big ones. In both of those cases, people doubted him beforehand too. When Titanic was coming out, the thing was, oh, well, we know the ending, and he's spending all this money, he made that huge fucking replica of the Titanic in Mexico, and... you know, it's a 3-hour love story thing. And, like, you know, oh, but it's the Titanic, how could it be interesting? And then it was the biggest movie of all time. And then with Avatar, it was like, oh, he spent 12 years making this thing about blue monkey people, and it's Dances with Wolves, it's Pocahontas, it's Lion King, whatever. I don't think people say it's Lion King. But people say it's Dances with Wolves, and people say it's Pocahontas, and whatever. Or Fern Gully. You know, which people still fucking say that like it matters at all. And like every other fucking, like, blockbuster movie that they think is good doesn't, you know, isn't derivative of other stories. But, or that matters, or, like, is necessarily a reflection of the quality of the movie. And then Avatar ended up being the highest grossing movie ever made, and it remains that to this day, thanks to a series of re-releases. And they're going to re-release it again in September, and I really hope they release in 3D, because I didn't get to see it in theaters, and I think I would enjoy the movie even more, because I like it fine. I think it's a good movie. It's more the technological aspect of it and the creative aspect of it is more interesting to me than the story. I think the story is good. It's, you know, like people criticize it for being, it is, like, fairly predictable and straightforward, but again, like, that is something that you should be used to if you consume a lot of popular entertainment, as most of us do, including myself. So it's not something that, particularly concerns me or makes me like something any less. And I think it's done serviceably well, and one of the reasons it's done well is because Cameron is a good filmmaker. So, yeah. So, long story short, I think he is going to prove the haters wrong again. Pretty much every movie that was going to come out, like, the week of or around the time that it was going to come out, and then the weeks after, has been postponed, so... people forget that Avatar, we're used to movies, big blockbuster movies now, they make like half their domestic gross in their opening weekend. But both with Titanic and Avatar, and especially Avatar, the reason that they ended up being the highest grossing movies ever wasn't because they necessarily made, a ton of money their opening weekend, but because they kept making a respectable amount of money for numerous weekends after. I mean, Titanic was in theaters for months. I mean, can't even fucking imagine that now. I hope they let Avatar 2... I hope they better do a fucking exclusive theatrical release. Like, why would you do anything else? And they should let it play for like 6 months. I don't know. They shouldn't release it on streaming for a long time, because I think that is really like not doing theaters any good to have like same day streaming releases. And even, I mean, like, the Batman is already on streaming and shit, like, I don't know.
Hope that didn't break my memory card.
Anyway, this one's kind of annoying.
This is too cool.
You saw the edit there, this took a couple of tries for me. I remember this one being a pain in the ass. The destroying cars ones are usually annoying to me just because you usually, at least for me, only have a couple of opportunities to really do a lot of damage, because just ramming them doesn't do a whole lot. And also, yeah, to be going fast enough to hit them, like, you usually have to take some damage yourself, and later on there's some really fucking pain in the ass ones where, you're going long stretches where there's no wrenches to fix your car, and you're having to bash into vehicles that are, like, much bigger and tougher than you, and just to deal a little bit of damage. And so, like, you're in danger of blowing up yourself and then failing the mission. I can think of one mission in particular that is very annoying on that front. But this one, it gives you a pretty decent amount of time. It's a lot easier when it starts you from the restart mission thing than when you start organically, because it starts with you facing toward the car driving toward you, and hitting them head on is very fast is, like, the best way to really do a lot of damage. You probably saw at the beginning when I did it, it was like already half of all of its damage. And I'm about to get a hit and run here and somehow get away from the cops. But yeah, I was kind of flailing with this mission. But it's the last one. They usually go out with a bang. They do a big fucking annoying one. The game that's the children's game that is the king of that is Toontown. Because at the end of every world, when you're playing through that game, at the end of every world, your last task that you have to do to get out of it is like the most pointless fucking fetch quest of all time, where either like you usually have to like get 10 packages from sell bots in wherever, and you get like one for every like 1,000 that you do. It's ridiculous. And then you do that like 70 times. Like every time you think you're almost done, you actually have to like go to 3 more shops and do all this other bullshit. Ugh. Especially later in the game, like the final missions in the levels become redonkulous. Ugh, these children's games are just so difficult, so aggravating. Also, something I do not like about the AI cars in this game is that they love to just change lanes abruptly to fuck you up. It's very annoying. Anyway, I'm gonna let this ending cutscene take us out. And oh, the honor roller, that's what it's called. And I will see you next time for the Lisa level.
Yes! Everybody do the Bart Man!